The third learning is there is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all approach. And this is probably the question you might have. So, all right. So thank you for the introduction. My name is Joris. I am a social psychologist. And how many people have heard of Crobox? Okay, I see a few fingers. Good. So today I'm going to talk about persuasion as a service. We combine machine learning with social psychology or consumer psychology. A little bit about me, one slide only. 30 years old, I'm from Amsterdam, and this is my girlfriend Diane. We recently bought a house in Amsterdam Oost, which I'm very happy with, and with a girlfriend. 3 topics. A little bit about Growbox, then I'm going to tell you how we work and how we optimize websites of our clients, and then finally some of the learnings we did using our tool. Crobox, this one. It was founded by these guys on the top left, Leonard, Roger, Wouter and Sjoerd. Basically they embody the core of the business, so we have machine learning on the far left, then we have e-commerce psychology, and we have the full stack developer Sjoerd. Well, we work for a bunch of clients, of which I'm very happy with. We are a VC-backed company. We track a lot of data, over 1 billion per month. Psychologists, data scientists, and developers. We are still looking for developers, as pretty much every single tech company, I think. And we work in a lovely building, which is very nice. The why behind the buy. This is basically what we are searching for all the time, and you can see on this slide we have the who, we have the what, and then we have the how, and finally the missing piece is the psychographic data. It's basically telling you why do people convert on a platform, and that's what we're trying to find out using our tool. So we combine machine learning or artificial intelligence together with social psychology. And me, as one of the social psychologists, I come up with experiments that we implement on and during the entire sales funnel in order to increase micro conversions. And that's the end result of that is what we call persuasion profiling. A little bit about the psychology. Anyone heard of Daniel Kahneman? Okay, see a bunch of fingers. Robert Cialdini. See more fingers. Okay, marketeers probably. So yeah, one back. We have 2 systems Kahneman described. So we have the autopilot, the more intuitive system, the automatic system, and then on the other side we have our rational system. And I think the number is being between 80 or 95% of all our behavior is being done automatically. And they say when you buy a house, then it's more the rational system. But I have to say it's also the automatic system in play. We tend to focus most on system 1. There are a bunch of tactics. There are, I think, over 150 tactics that you can apply online, and here are a few of them. And we mostly try to focus on the automatic system because I believe that it's an easier way to influence behavior when people are more in an automatic system. So this is what we're talking about, the core philosophy of our product. Persuasion profiling. So basically what we do, every action that's being tracked by our system, and we combine based on where people respond to. So for instance, if you see a message such as most viewed or most bought, then we say, okay, this person is more likely to be susceptible to social proof. Or we can see a message that says only few left, or we have a message, this product just came in. So there are different tactics we are showing to the customer, and based on the actual clicking behavior, we are finding out what the preference is, or the persuasion susceptibility. And there are different strategies that we apply. We usually start with increasing purchase intent, which is basically helping people from home, product overview page and detail page towards the point of that they have to make the decision if they want to buy it, but we try to evoke the motivation or increase the motivation for the purchase. And you might ask, how do they do it? Well, we have different features that we use for this. So we have the product tags on the far left side. And product tags basically are really short messages that can convey one word, maybe two, maximum of 3 words. And they are a short sales argument why they have to click on a specific product, such as most viewed or only few left. And then on the top right part, this is mostly showed on the product detail page. Those are the longer, mostly one sentence messages. Also, it has an icon in it, so it's both talking to our visual system. So it's the verbal and non-verbal way of communicating. And then we have the native nudges, which also are action-based messages. For instance, when you're hovering with your mouse on the Add to Cart button, we can show a specific message. And on the the bottom right side, we have exit intent, which is also an action-based feature that basically pops up whenever you're trying to leave the website. You might have seen it on several websites already. Then when you go with your mouse on a desktop device to the far left or the top left or top right part of the browser, then we will present a message like this. And there is more to the eye than there's more to it than meets the eye. We have here a dissection of our smart notification. So the message says 5 people are viewing this product right now. And as you can see, as already mentioned, this is a smart notification, which is the feature. Then we have the principal type, it's social proof. Then on number 3, the third layer is the persuasive copy. So 5 people are viewing this product. And then there's the trigger. And I think this is one of the most important parts for it, that in order to be honest, we need the trigger. Otherwise, we can just present random labels to everyone. So we use a trigger that says, if 3 or more people have viewed this product within the last 15 minutes, then we will. Then the system is allowed to show this specific message. And basically, I have to say, then the system is allowed to show it because the system is deciding which copy variant it will be showing to the person. Because machine learning, that's the next one. The machine learning decides which message will be presented. And then finally, we have segmentation, which is our last addition to the system. So targeting specific groups of people. And this is one of the outcomes of how psychographic insights might look like, So we have on the top right, we always have a control group running, otherwise it's very hard to say whether or not it works or not. And in this case it did work. We have an uplift of 6.7% on click-through rate. And as you can see, social proof is currently the best performing tactic, followed by authority, commitment and innovation. And scarcity in this case is underperforming. So when we showed the message, only few left, people were not really enthusiastic about it. So that is for me inspiration to either reduce the amount of that it should be shown or come up with better copy variants for the scarcity principle. So what we deliver persuasion as a service. And we combine persuasion, machine learning, and we present our clients psychographic information that can be used on platform for new experiments, but also off platform. So mostly the marketing department is very interested in maybe using it for display advertisements, for instance. Then some of the learnings, I think you might be very interested in this. The first one is persuade on micro conversions and not on end conversions. So first we tried to show messages. And for instance, you show a message on the overview page, specific labels, most viewed, only few left, and then you hope that the end conversion will increase. And that's I think a wrong way of looking at it, because if you look at the sales funnel and you start implementing on the PLP, the lister page, you start presenting the messages there. The only effect that experiment might have is that people can click on a product. That's the only action that is available for the user at that moment. and on the PDP, it's adding a product to your cart. So instead of focusing on the confirmation or the purchase of the product, first you have to look what's the action at hand at that moment. Second one, it's persuade passively and don't invade actively. So, one back. We came up with an experiment for one of our sports fashion brands, and this is one of the smart notifications. It's in Dutch, but it translates 20 people are looking at this product right now, and it's a typical message that you might see on specific websites. So it slides up, and then after 7 seconds it slides down, or when someone has clicked on it to close it, then it will hide as well. And it was doing fairly well. I think an increase of almost 1.6% in add to cart rate. But the downside is that maybe some user hasn't seen it, or people might find it annoying and try to close it all the time. So we came up with another variant. Here you see it animated. So it's an icon that animates in, it draws your attention, then the red dot will appear, which is also known as the Zeigarnik effect. So you might know it from your mobile phone when there is a little red dot on your Twitter account, or saying you have a few messages, you click on it and all of a sudden you hope there's a great message waiting for you. Well, we try to use that as well. So people are more drawn to the icon, they hover with their mouse on the icon, and then the message will be appearing. And we saw an increase in the effectiveness of this experiment, so it grew to 15%. The third learning, and I think this is the most important part of the presentation, is there is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all approach. And this is probably the question you might have. So if you're testing a lot of those experiments on several layers of the sales funnel, which principle works best for me? And so what we did, we combined all the data of our clients and we came up with this. And as you can see, there are two features currently being compared. So we have the smart notifications, which were the bigger messages on the detail page of the website. And we have the product text, which were the more smaller messages on the lister page, the messages saying most viewed or only few left. And we can see that interestingly enough, social proof is the best performing principle for both the smart notifications and for the product tags. And if you look at the worst performing, it's again in both cases innovation. And for innovation, you have to think about small messages such as just in or fresh or new, but also maybe more technology driven, such as future tech. And we also split the information on an industry level. So here you can see the persuasion DNA principle versus the industry. And this is for the product tags, so the smaller labels. And you can see that, well, we have the fashion industry, HR, telecom and electronics. And interestingly enough, social proof is again performing well. But innovation for fashion is performing pretty good in this case. For HR, it's social proof, authority, and scarcity. And telecom, apparently, when people are purchasing or want to purchase a mobile phone, they are more price-driven compared to the other industries. And at least, last but not least, we have electronics industry, and then the social proof is the most effective one for clicking on the specific products. And if you look at the longer messages, so on the detail page, then we see that it's totally different. So per funnel step, it doesn't say that you always have to use social proof, but if you look at the different industries, you will see that the best principles for that step might differ across the entire funnel. So for fashion, we all of a sudden see that price sensitivity is the best performing one. For HR, it's scarcity. For telecom, it's price sensitivity. So again, price related. Maybe people are more price related in this case. And last but not least, we have in the electronic sector, it's scarcity. Is this clear? See some heads nodding. All right, I've been running through this presentation, but yeah, my final slide, it's a quote from Robert Cialdini. He said, persuasion is not an art, it's a science, and I truly believe that there are a lot of tactics, there are a lot of research being done on a social psychology level, and I think it's very important to come up with good experiments that will increase the conversions online but also offline.